it's Gina with your note of the week. This week's note is about touchscreen design. I'm going to show you how to link a button in your touchscreen to an item. So that way you can actually create menus that will sell items instead of scanning barcodes. And it's pretty easy. Go to Setup, Point of Sale, Touchscreen Codes. Now keep in mind you may have more than one design. You can see here I have more than one design. I'm just going to pick my combo design and I'm going to click on Button Editor. So I have 3 empty buttons down here. I'm going to click on one. Notice how there are black brackets around it. So next I'm going to create an action to link that button to an item. And the action is actually called Item. Now I'm going to select the item that I want to link to that button. So I'll just link the purified water. And then I'm going to give the button a caption. I'm going to call it purified water. This is why I pick the item from inventory first. That way I can name the button the same thing it's called in inventory, which will make more sense to your salespeople. Optionally, I can change the color of the button so it looks a little brighter than that gray. I can use this color drop down. These are the basic colors. If I want more of a color palette to select from, I can click on Other, and I'll just select this screen. Now, if you like this color but you want to darken it, you can just use a slider, or lighten it, you can use a slider. So I'm just going to go ahead and select that color, and click OK. Now notice that in my screen, I don't see the fact that that button has changed color, and I don't see a caption. So if you want to see the color, the caption, just click on Preview. So now I see a button called Purified Water, and when I press it at point of sale, it's going to sell the purified water. So that's how you link a button to an item. Now, if you have multiple buttons that you want to link to multiple items, obviously these 2 remaining empty buttons aren't going to help me. So you can actually create a new page in the touchscreen design and put your items on that new page. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a new page. I'm going to create a page for golf clubs. So I'm just going to name it, and I'm going to click OK. So here's my new page, and I can start linking these buttons to my items. But before I do that, I'm going to need to be on my main page, and I'm going to have to create a button that links to my golf club page. So I'm going to use this left-facing arrow, and that'll take me back to my main screen. I'm going to select an empty button, and the action is going to be called Button Page, which is fancy for when I click on that button, go to a page of buttons. I'm going to give it a caption. So my caption is going to be golf clubs. And then I have to come down here to the button page drop down and select my new page of golf clubs. And I'll give this a nice color. Let's give it this sky blue. And I'll preview, and it looks just great. Now I'm ready to visit my golf club page and assign buttons to items. The easiest way to do that is just to click this right-facing arrow, and that'll take me to my empty page. So now I'm going to select a button. I'm going to do the action item. I'm going to go and select an item. So I'll select the ADM SCD and click OK. And I'll go ahead and give it a caption, Adams SCD, and I'll give the button a color. And I'm going to choose that same sky blue so it matches the button on the main screen. And now I'm going to preview. Now I'm going to show you a little shortcut. So I have a bunch of clubs to attach to these screens, and I've already built this one button. So if I just stay highlighted, there's black brackets around it, and I click on Copy, and then click on another button, Paste, click, Paste, click, Paste. So now I have 4 buttons that are going to sell the same item, which is not very sensible. But this is going to be a time saver. So now all I have to do is highlight a button, go into inventory, select another golf club, change the caption, and I'm going to preview it, make sure the caption shows up. It does. Move on to my next button, select an item from inventory. I'll do the TL3 this time. Change my caption to the TL3. By the way, you can be a little more descriptive than that. You could call it exactly what the description is in inventory. Counterpoint's pretty clever about word wrapping on these buttons. So this is actually called the Adams Tight Lies 3 wood. So why don't I make my caption Adams Tight Lies 3 wood. And now watch when I preview. See how it word wraps very nicely. And then I'll do my last button, select the item. This time I will do the 5 wood. And I'll change my caption. And then I'll go ahead and preview just to make sure the word wrap is very nice. And it certainly is. Another thing you can do with these buttons once they're linked is you can actually default a quantity or posit quantity. So if I know every time I sell this product, I always sell 2, I can default the quantity to 2. And every time that button is pressed, Counterpoint will automatically sell 2. Another thing I can do is posit quantity. So if it's an item I know I sell multiples of, but not always the same multiple, when you posit quantity, when that button is pressed at point of sale, Counterpoint, of course, will select the item, and as soon as the item is brought over to the point of sale screen, Counterpoint will pop up a quantity field where the sales associate can insert a quantity that's being sold. So when you're done, make sure you close, make sure you save your changes, and that is touchscreen designing, part of touchscreen designing, linking buttons to items and creating a whole new pages. Hope you enjoyed your note of the week this week. I'll talk with you again next week. Thanks for joining me for this session of Note of the Week. Hope to see you again soon. We would love to hear from you. If you would like to submit a question for Note of the Week, email training@cksystem.com. And on the subject line, type Note of the Week. If you would like to schedule training time or request a free training catalog, call me at 888-476-7911, extension 3. Talk to you next week. Bye.